How much does Python software cost depending on developers' salary and hourly rates? By Procoders. Despite being among the oldest programming languages, Python does not lose its relevance in 2021, 20 years after its creation. If you look at the statistics of the last 5 years, you can see that it is one of the 5 most demanded programming languages with a 14.8% growth in popularity. Among the main competitors are Java and C++, but they are inferior to Python by more than 10% in market share. You truly cannot find a more universal language. What affects Python software cost? 1. Experience. The easy learning curve can be viewed as both a blessing and a curse. Yes, it helps to maintain a virtually constant influx of new coders to the market. However, this is precisely what makes experience and skills matter. And this is where the Python web app development cost can build up. 2. The complexity of your project. The rule is quite simple. The more features and functionality you want to add to your project, the higher the cost of Python software would be. Python is the ideal language for multi-purpose programming solutions. Its capabilities include everything from creating file directories to visualizing interactive data, acting as a server side of a web app, creating APIs, or doing a qualitative and quantitative analysis of big data. Its simple yet elegant syntax makes almost every project idea attainable. How the cost of Python web app development depends on the developer's location. Availability. A good deal of the Python programming language cost depends on the demand for programmers. In developed countries, it is traditionally much higher than in developing countries. The talent shortage pushes hourly rates up every year. Standard of living. The Python programming language cost also depends on the cost of living in the country. Residents of higher income countries are expected to raise rates to meet their basic needs. For comparison, according to the Index of Living Standards, the United States is in 21st place. The index value is 72.4, Germany is 30, 66.3, China is 78, 39, and Ukraine is 121, 30. And since lower rates can be set to ensure a high standard of living in low-income countries, say, Ukraine or India, developers from these countries choose this competitive advantage. Cost of Python software depending on the hiring model. A Python programming language cost can significantly vary depending on the way you decide to hire. Today there are 3 options for hiring a programmer: looking for a freelancer, contacting a specialized agency, or outsourcing and outstaffing, and the difference between them comes down to not only the waste of time, but also the waste of money. The general disposition is as follows: freelancers tend to cost less. However, you spend a ton of time looking for a qualified programmer, and even more time on interviews, hiring procedures, and onboarding. According to the Society for Human Resource Management, hiring procedures alone, the search process omitted, can cost $4,129. That's why the cost of Python web app development by a freelancer is greatly underestimated. Python developers' salary and hourly rates. It would be most reasonable to consider the issue of pricing from a geographic point of view, since we have already found out that the Python web app development cost in different regions can vary significantly. North America is by far the most popular region for IT development, led by the United States and its innovative approaches to business. This explains why Python developers are more in demand in North America than in any other country in the world. Conclusion. According to GitHub, Python ranks second among all programming languages, being one of the simplest and most effective tools for developing web applications. It is not surprising that it's chosen by a huge number of people to implement their own projects, and at the same time, the question arises: how much does Python software cost? Subscribe our channel and read more about how much does Python software cost depending on developers' salary and hourly rates at Procoders blog.